Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Death of Art. We're in Harlem, in New York City, and behind me is a nondescript brownstone. Hidden inside it is a beautiful little art gallery. Let's see what we find. We're in a beautiful 19th century Harlem townhouse with many, many of the original details. It's just gorgeous. And there's art everywhere. And here we find, surprise, surprise, it's Brian Leo.
Hey, Stefan.
So what's up?
Lonnie, the owner of Ilon Art Gallery, invited me over here to install 70 paintings for this installation. So I just kind of intuitively went with like the walls that she had placed me in. You'll be speaking with Lonnie more about this particular space in Harlem on 123rd Street, which is definitely a nice gem.
All right, well, we have to find this mysterious Lonnie. Lonnie is the owner and founder and creator of this art gallery. She's apparently lived here for decades, and at one point, I don't know if it was a few years ago, perhaps she opened this up and really turned it into a real gem. It doesn't look like anything else I've ever seen. It also, you don't feel like you're in somebody's home. It feels like an institution, but it's very unique. All right, we found Lonnie. Say hello, Lonnie.
Hi, I'm Loni Efron. This is my gallery, Ilon Art Gallery. Welcome. Can I show you around?
Absolutely, let's see what you got.
This work on this wall right here is photographs by Lynn Gilbert, women. Really great, iconic, trailblazing women from the 60s and 70s. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Julia Childs, Louise Nevelson, Billie Jean King, fabulous ladies like that. Come on in here. We'll stay up high. And I have some of my painters. Here's some of Todd's work. He's also in the show that's on the wall right now. Some more of Lynn's ladies. This is some more of Lynn's work from Turkey. Charles Assawa, he's a really great trash artist.
Wait, so are we looking at art or are we looking at a lamp?
Well, I think it's an art lamp, though.
It's an art lamp, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we cleared that up. It's
made by
beautiful.
artist Charles Assawa, and it's all trash. He goes around, he cleans up the park, he finds trash, and then he makes things. I'll show you something else he made me. He made me a weapon to protect myself.
Awesome, this I gotta see.
Yeah, I'll go get it after.
Finally, some real art. That's great.
Here's another piece of Todd's. You're gonna meet Todd soon too, come on.
Wow,
this
is
is
beautiful.
an art way to block out your neighbors, right?
Mosaic is the best way to get rid of neighbors, I agree. This is gorgeous out here.
Yeah. Come on down here. We're doing a little organic art also with like taking the bamboo and tying it down. This is all live and living. We did it because it was falling over into the yard, but now we made it really beautiful. Todd did this also, and you'll get to meet him. Look, he's working on 2 more up there. I worked on this over COVID. This is my project. I did a mosaic. I'd lived here for like 12, 15 years, and it was this dirty white wall, and I did this. And that's how I actually started getting into the street art, because when I did this wall, I didn't know how to do some things. And I watched the news, or I was listening to the radio, and Carlos Pinto was on the news, and he's like my great mosaic artist, and he said, he was on the news, oh, I love when the community comes helps, and he was doing a big mural on 169th Street in Broadway or Amsterdam, and so I went and I met him and I helped him, and he helped me finish my thing up, and then he became an artist in the gallery. So Carlos, who's a mosaic artist, he took to the gallery work, he cuts up Metro cards and makes collages and artworks. I commissioned Carlos to do my kids. That's Cam and Cody.
Now we get to the weapons part of the show, and it's weapons and art.
This, you go to the club and you dance with it, and then you get home on the subway and you got a weapon to protect yourself with. So my friend Charles made sure that I had one for my late night clubbing.
You saw it here first.
And I leave it next to my bed.
On The Death of Art. All right, well, believe it or not, there's more.
Also Lynn Gilbert's, these are her New York City kids. That's part of the women's show. Well, it's a separate show, but same artist. She's a photographer, she's 85 years old. She would have come tonight and supported, but she had back surgery. So she couldn't come.
We're in Lonnie's office, and it's another space filled with art.
I've been working in the photo world forever, for like 30 years. And I opened as a photo gallery and I show like great photographers, David LaChapelle, Annie Leibovitz, Lenny Spire. So this is all my photo stuff. And then over COVID, I told you I met Carlos. I told you about that out back. So I added everybody into the gallery, not just photography.
Well, that's one thing that's so fresh about this, is it's everything and anything, it seems.
That's by Duel. These are some more of Duel's work right here. He's a really great street artist that I met really early on. He's one of my first ones.
Tell us about these skateboards.
Those are Todd's.
Those are Todd's skateboards.
Todd does collage work, and that's some of his collage work. And you want to check them out, they're really cool. He has a few big collages, but he doesn't really release them yet.
So a triptych of skateboards. Now that's a first for me. I don't know about you.
I've actually really considered doing a skateboard show, but I haven't gotten there yet. Because even if they don't, people like working on them as like it's a good medium.
And the sculpture, I looked right past it. This is one of my favorite pieces in the gallery. I love it.
So
Tell me about it.
That's a sculpture by Linus Caraggio. I love it too. I Robot Man. Look, here's Dog Head up here. Oh wait, catch this one. It's a really good one. That's a little Al Diaz.
All right, guys, we found Todd. Behind me are his paintings. Go ahead, Todd. Tell us about your paintings.
This is a tribute to Tedeschi, who was a show prior to this show here at Ilon Gallery. These came from a studio visit with him, specifically the red piece. When I walked in his studio, there was a red painting there, and it really was awestruck by him. Yeah, red is a color that I don't really play with a lot because there's a lot that goes with it.
How are these made? Are these glued on? What are these little chips?
And layer and layer.
Layers of what?
When I first started, I used to paint with tempera. So we always had leftover eggshells. Tempera is when you mix to extend the paint. The old masters extended the paint.
So you did real egg tempera,
yeah.
And these are the leftover eggshells from egg tempera.
Well, that's how I started using eggshells, and then it kind of evolved for me. This is far beyond my early tempera days. This is more trying to create sort of three-dimensional sculptured paintings, basically. A lot of my other work is about sort of finding faces, finding things in the work. And this particular series is much more abstracted, but it still has the same themes of the spheres, of the orbs, you know, the sort of, I don't want to say spirited, but yeah, I guess on some level, sort of spirited energy pieces. That's kind of my gig.
One thing I love about independent galleries is oftentimes they have a little area in back where the art is actually produced. That to me just adds energy to the entire experience. So let's take a look.
These are sort of the palettes off of that piece. So if you look, it's the same colors, right? Boom, boom. And sometimes these that are on the cardboard are a lot freer and have a lot more energy. And also the frames, the whole piece is one piece in and of itself. Wow. This is my tribute to Anselm Kiefer, Canada Goose. It's almost like a little Great Escape in the middle of New York.
So tell us about your little micro art space. I love this.
Since I've been working back here with Lonnie, it's kind of, I started over here in these bins, and then the bins grew into the closet, and then from the closet it has grown into my workspace over there, which literally I built today, which is from hemlock from my treehouse up in upstate New York. But basically this is going to be my little, so you know, this is going to be my little work spot. Look at the light, you got the water, I mean, and these are a few little pieces. Anytime you make a big painting, small paintings happening along the way. And a lot of times people that make big paintings don't necessarily focus on the little stuff. Like all of these paintings, they're good work, they're solid work. They're just not what I'm normally accustomed to, you know, doing.
Cheers!
What a beautiful space and what great people. In the heart of Harlem, I found a jewel. And I gotta tell you, this is why I live in New York. Things like this. Have a good night, folks. Please like, please subscribe, and please ring the bell.